and passing through a thick 50 pages, single-folded copy of the speech entitled Progressive Cause Greater Than Any Individual, which he carried in his jacket. Schrank was immediately disarmed, captured, and might have been lynched had Roosevelt not shouted for Schrank to remain unharmed. Roosevelt assured the crowd it was all right and ordered police to take charge of Schrank to make sure no violence was done to him.
He did finish that speech.
Yes.
In 90 minutes. And he said, "Friends, I shall ask you to be as quiet as possible. I don't know whether you fully understood that I have just been shot, but it takes more than that
to kill a bull moose.
But it takes more than that to kill a bull moose."
Yeah, because we had the bull moose party, which is, I don't know. I want to get back and read a little bit more about that. But clearly the guy is driven, and he also has a very, very interesting access point, because the bullet passed through an eyeglass case, and the very copy of the speech. I mean, that particular speech, I don't know if it's the same one that he read, but logic would dictate that he would have it on his person. So the question remains, the parallel universe, what if he had forgotten his eyeglass case or his speech, either if he rode a carriage or was on horse, or he left it at his bedpost and did not have it that day, so that this assassin's bullet may not have been so turned or stayed by that. Imagine if that was the day, because he was already bleeding, so it's clear that if there was anything different, it may have ended his life. Now, he was a hunter and a cowboy, and he was supposed to be a real tough guy, but a bullet's a bullet. You know, it doesn't take, a bullet will end a human being. He's not more than a human being. So imagine if that was that one moment where that was out of place. What kind of a universe would it have made?
And it also would have ended the legend of Teddy Roosevelt. Had that bullet struck and killed him, he would have not been known as the Rough Rider. He would have been some guy who was president that got shot. But the fact that he stood and gave that speech gave the impression that he was stronger than an ox.
The very fact that he's sitting there bleeding and he's still doing what he's got to do, and the whole circumstances, it bespeaks that this is not a common man. This is not a man whose destiny is light. It's not a man who's weak-willed, because both the spirit and the flesh was contending with, assassins and adversity and whatnot. It's fairly impressive. It makes you wonder if there's anybody alive today who has that sort of will, because it sounds rare to find that.
And I will say this. At this time, out of what was going on in the world, with a lot of shooting and killing, and maybe 2 years before World War I started, and around the Titanic and stuff like that, the fact that he stood strong through that, had he fallen, you don't even know what ripples in time that would have been.
It certainly presents an interesting tangent or series of tangents, and definitely something we may explore on another episode.
Yes.
This has been Spiritus Holographica. I am Ricky Bearhart.
I am Wolfman.
We're going to leave you real quick with a brief plug. And then wish you farewell and hope you enjoyed the show. It's been fun the last couple times we've been doing it. It's something we're going to keep doing. And it's a great feature on the Joseph Vivaldi Network. I am Ricky Bearhart. I'm from the Oakenuts Network. Just here to give a real quick plug for the audiobook on Oakwood's Eternity, the audiobook of Malaphoria Volume 1. It's a cosmic fantasy written by Richard Andrew Olkis. It talks about a disaster world in the Afternal Continuum, where things are very different from the way this universe is. And check out the Court of Pharaonic Eyes, which is a spirituality podcast, and Metrics of the Golden Hologram, which is a religious podcast. And the two of them kind of go together. We tend to have back-to-back episodes. And you explore, in the religious podcast, it explores orthodoxy and counter-orthodoxy of whoever's being interviewed. And then the other one, Pharaonic Eyes, gets into the spirituality of whoever's being interviewed and the differences between the two, almost separating them almost like separation of church and state. So check it out. It's on the Oakenuts Network. Audiobooks, poetry, paranormal, religion and spirituality. The Oakenuts Network, a creative baptism for every day.
Thank you for that plug, Ricky. I too have a few things to plug, and I'm going to invite Joseph Vivaldi on the podcast, just to give those plugs.
Welcome, welcome.
I thank you for your hard work and everything. This has been a very good podcast. I'm very happy, and I would like to introduce 2 new shows coming to the Joseph Vivaldi Network. One will be on Spreaker, and the other will be on GetDialogue.am. First show that is coming to this network sometime in October or November is the Journal of the Dreamscapes. Ricky did a little bit about dreams and parallel reality on this podcast today. It was very good. And it's just a little taste of what would be going on in Journal of the Dreamscapes. And also it will be dreams that Joseph Vivaldi has had.
A dream journal analysis, I recall, of dreams that he has written down in their immediate aftermath. And there's a few of those to go over. That's another fun show, let me tell you. I have fun making it.
And also, a new show with Joseph Vivaldi, me, as the host. And that is Astronumerological Wonders on GetDialogue.am. It is a show that discusses topics of astrology and numerology and how that intertwines with the myths. And I know there's many myths and everything else about the stars and wonders and everything else, but let's just say there is a different degree of science of the stars, and there's the science of the numbers and how everything plays along, and that's what a show is going to be about.
I would imagine he'd be focusing more on, mathematical synchronicity. Like, for example, in the I Ching, supposedly there's a tremendous amount of mathematical synchronicity. As far as astrology and all that, there's not necessarily a science. What there is an astrotheological link to the ancient world. And that has some surprising correlations with astronomy. I'm not sure exactly where Joseph Vivaldi's going with this because I've never heard the show before, but it would be worth tuning in to check it out.
Thank you.
So I think that's about it for today.
Yes.
We're at the wrap-up time, and we had some fun talking about some kooky stuff. And thanks a lot for listening. It's been cool.
I'm going to bring Wolfman on the show, and he's going to wrap it up. I am Wolfman Joe, and I'm going to wrap up this podcast. And we're parallel universes with parallel Earths and parallel reality. We are Spiritus Holographica. And that's it for tonight, folks.
Thanks for listening. Go in harmony, everyone. Take care.